Jim started working the night shift, so we were home alone at night. Late one night, I was laying in my bed. Bo was laying next to me. I felt Bo scrunching around on the bed. All of a sudden, I hear this, like, walking.
Yikes.
I'm thinking, what is that?
This is real.
I thought, oh my God, is someone in this room with me?
A ghost.
I heard the footsteps turn and come to my side of the bed. I swore someone was staring right at me. So I opened my one eye to look. And there was nothing there. These footsteps were as plain as day. And I'm not one to make up a story. I wasn't afraid for my son, but what could I do to help Andrew if there was someone in the house? I waited for Jim to come home and I explained to him what happened.
I didn't see any evidence of anybody being there. The doors were locked, everything was closed. I'm the sort of man that needs evidence. You have to show me something before I believe it.
I got very frustrated with Jim. He thought I was just making things up in my mind. I never said anything to Andrew. I didn't want to make him afraid. I wanted him to be comfortable in his own home.
We had to put Bo down because he couldn't see, he couldn't walk anymore.
When Bo passed away, I felt alone at night. I didn't feel safe in the home anymore.
We went to get another dog so she'd have a little protection at the house.
Hershey is a chocolate lab.
My mom is very close to Hershey.
When we got Hershey, Hershey reacted the same way as Bo did, only more afraid. He would lay on his bed, and just like that, he'd start growling and looking into the hallway. When Hershey started acting like Bo did, I thought there's something wrong.
I had a lot of troubles in that house as a child. I was always seeing things and hearing things. There was always something happening in my bedroom. Stuff would just keep getting knocked over. I'd sit my deodorant down, and I'd turn around, and it would fall over. I'd pick it up, turn around again, and it would end up on the floor again. I'd ask, could you please stop doing that? And when I'd turn around, it wouldn't happen again. So whatever was doing it would react to you speaking to it. I got the sense that something was trying to mess with me. As I got older, I kept seeing things and hearing things in the house. It was not a fun place to be. I never talked to my mom and dad about it. I never actually told anybody about it. I did not tell anybody because I didn't want people to think I was going crazy.
As he got older, my son withdrew.
Andrew started being a loner. He didn't actually want to be around us anymore.
You start to feel disconnected. You don't want to deal with being judged by other people for having these experiences in your life. I was sleeping on the couch one night. I was at least 19 years old or so. It had to be around midnight, maybe later. I opened my eyes and I looked at Hershey. The hair on the back of his neck was standing up. His ears were back. I saw a spirit standing on top of the stairs. You could see right through him. And then he just turned and walked off. I knew then that there really was something in that house. I felt as if I had to get out of there.
Andrew never gave a reason why. He just said he wanted to move away. I thought I was losing my son.
When Andrew told us he was leaving, it was very hard on Sharon.
I wasn't sure what was happening with him at that time. I didn't know how to help him. But I wanted my son back. I wanted to hold him and tell him how much I loved him. I'm sorry.
My name's Chris, and I am co-founder of Lights Out Paranormal. Lights Out Paranormal is a very scientifically based group.
When we entered Sharon's home, we knew that she was looking for some sort of an answer. What we had to do was get solid proof. An EVP is an electronic voice phenomenon.
It's a noise or a voice that you capture on a recording device that you did not hear at the time of the investigation. It can be a very good indicator that there's spirit activity.
We start asking questions. Do you like us being here? We immediately caught an EVP. The EVP was very high-pitched, what sounds like a little boy saying, "Can you hear me?"
When we caught the EVP in Andrew's room, I was startled and excited because it doesn't happen to us very often.
An EMF detector detects a change in the electromagnetic field in a room.
A lot of times you can communicate with spirits if you can get them to manipulate the field in a response to your question. Okay, we're recording.
Can you make that flash?
Big-time fluctuation, I'll say. Something was trying to communicate with us through the EMF detector.
I'd like to ask you another question, if you could make that stop.
Awesome.
Do you like Andrew? If you like Andrew, make that flash.
Awesome.
It was chilling to get direct responses to these questions. I got chills across my legs.
Wow.
To see the EMF meter react the way it was reacting is very remarkable.
We found this to be solid evidence that there is something in Andrew's room.
That I thought was pretty convincing. It just seemed too coincidental when they're asking these questions, and this was answering them spontaneously.
That's when I thought maybe Andrew saw something and heard something as well as I did. But he just didn't feel like he could speak to us.
Sharon's stories all started making sense then. All the footsteps, everything she's been hearing, and I didn't believe her in all those times.
Jim apologized after he saw the evidence. It was nice to know that he believed me.
My name is Laurie Moore, and I am an investigator and a psychic medium for the group Lights Out Paranormal.
When we bring Lori in, I try not to give her any information. Homeowners.
When I first entered the home, I knew that whatever was in the house was upstairs.
When we entered Andrew's room, Lori immediately saw a closet door that was closed. And she said, there is someone trapped behind that door.
I felt that there was a spirit in Andrew's bedroom. The spirit said that he was locked in the room, and they basically forgot him there. He was just waiting for his mom to come so he could cross over. He was truly a lost soul.
My name is Franklin Nummy. I was born and raised in the Berlinsville area and lived here for the past 60 plus years. Robert in Berlin was the first individual that came to our attention. We did establish that he did live in the house. He did indicate on the census report that he was mentally challenged, and in fact the box idiot was checkmarked, and in those days idiot was the terminology used for a mentally challenged person. I think there was more of a social stigma in the 1800s. Mentally challenged individuals were kept away from public view for the most part. If a family had a mentally challenged offspring, they might have been literally locked in the attic to keep them away from society. That was a common practice.
I said to my husband, Jim, I'm going to call Andrew, and I want to see if anything had ever happened to Andrew in the home.
I was extremely surprised when my mother called me. She confided in me by telling me that she's always heard things in the house. It was an emotional relief to know that I wasn't the only one that was experiencing these things. I finally had somebody that I could talk to about it.
I felt like I was not alone, and now Andrew didn't have to feel alone. I wanted him to come back to us.
After the phone call, I felt comfortable moving back home.
I felt much better thinking that my son was coming back. I wanted him to be with me.
found out that there was a Robert M. Berlin living in the house. Lori Moore said that he had a very fun spirit, like he liked to mess with people. And I knew he was messing with me all this time. It made so much sense that it was that spirit. It connected to all my childhood problems and every other issue I had in that house.
I believe that Robert was isolated in this closet. He was isolated from his family. And the same thing happened to Andrew.
I knew what I went through with Andrew, and I didn't want this boy to suffer. I wanted him to feel like he had his mother again.
The spirit had died, but the soul was lingering. I asked him if he wanted to cross over, and he said yes. We opened a window that was in the closet. I said a prayer, and after midnight, we crossed him. We did reunite this young man and his mom, so he finally could find some peace.
There was no reason for that spirit to suffer for so long. The spirit needed to be somewhere good instead of in that house in a cage cell. It gave me closure.
Andrew and I, we sat and cried many nights together. We worked our way through everything. And I think we're a stronger family for it now.
I can see a big difference in Andrew. Everything's really good.
She is very happy at home now. There's happiness and joy in our family.
About 50 miles down the road from Sharon and Andrew, Seth Bingaman decided to start a new life for himself in Shillington, Pennsylvania. His girlfriend Jess and her son Silas soon joined him. They were looking forward to a happy future together.
My name is Seth. I live in Shillington, Pennsylvania. Well, I started looking for a home when I was about 19. Found one home in particular that I liked. It's a small 2-bedroom house, a great starter house. I'm in a band, I'm trying to do stuff with music. The thing that I fell in love with the house is, it's got a basement. So I went down there, put lights up, built a stage, just a lot of different things to go with the way I wanted it to work. I met Jess a couple years ago. She's very loving, caring.
We have a really good relationship. I would call him basically my best friend. He's the love of my life.
Silas is Jess's son. He's 8 years old. He's extremely fun. I love hanging out with him. He's cool. My dog Daisy, she's a Maltese mix.
Daisy is the world to Seth. She kind of is just like him. She's cute and cuddly, but still has that edge to her. He would do anything for that dog.
Jess moved in around December, and I was definitely excited when she moved in.
I was looking forward to just being with him all the time. And having Silas move in also was very exciting for him. It's nice that he has his own little room. Silas loves hanging out with Seth. They have a blast together. It's kind of like good friends more than anything else. He, loves Daisy. So it was a good move for him also. It was really nice.
Daisy started acting out of the ordinary. She would constantly sit and stare at nothing. she would come running out of the dining room like really fast and just like sit in the corner and like shake. She was very, very skittish. And she'd start growling like. When I brought her outside, she'd be her normal self.
There were a lot of times I thought she is, you know, a yippy dog, so she might just be doing it for attention.
One day I came home from work. I walk around the house. I'm like, Daisy, Daisy, where are you? I go into my bedroom. I look under the bed. She was curled up in a little ball, you know, with her paws just up. I like felt terrible because why is she hiding under the bed? Then I pull her out and she's all distraught. I thought something was wrong with her. I took her to bed, but nothing was going on with her. I'd hear noises, little footsteps and stuff.
It would be little things throughout the house, seeing a shadow here or there, faucets turning on by themselves. I thought it could be anything. Really didn't seem like anything to worry about.
It was a typical Saturday. We were practicing in the basement. We were probably down there for 2 hours.
Daisy was at the top of my basement stairs.
Daisy was barking her head off. It looks like she's staring off into space. I looked up the steps, and there was what looked like a woman hunched over staring at us, watching us play. Did a quick double take. Nobody's there.
We were in the middle of a song. He stopped playing. It was like he was in a trance or something.
It was one of the freakiest moments I've had in my life. At that point, I decided, don't say anything. So I tried to get back into the music. I think we tried to finish the song.
Afterwards, I'm just like, dude, did you see something?
When I told Seth that I saw the woman, I wasn't really sure how he would take it. At that point, it was, hey, your house is haunted.
First thing that went through my mind is, I really hope this isn't happening in my house. I didn't want to believe it. I was sleeping, and I woke up. Daisy was on the edge of the bed, shaking, staring at something. I looked over to my bathroom. I see something that's like kind of blocking the doorway. That's like, that's a woman standing there. It felt like my heart was going to come out of my chest. When I look again, this woman slowly turns its head and stares at me. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I didn't even look back. I just laid there and put my head in my pillow. After that night, I didn't want to go to sleep. I left the TV on. I moved my bed to the other side of the wall just because I didn't want to have to see that again.
I truly believed everything that Seth said. To actually see a full-blown image of a woman, put things in perspective that something was going on in this house, it scared me.
I had to do something.
My name is Elaine. I am the co-founder and assistant director of Quest Paranormal Society. When I talked to Seth, the main thing that really captured my attention was the apparition he saw. He saw a woman. He also thought there was something wrong with his dog.
The game plan was simply to go in and try to validate what Seth was seeing and hearing. We were going to deploy every piece of equipment we had to find the answer.
We carry many DV cameras with infrared technology. We use audio devices, both digital and analog.
We deploy IR cameras into locations where we had the most activity.
My name is Lisa. I am a paranormal investigator, but I'm also a psychic and a medium.
Lisa plays a major role with Quest. She does have sensitivity to communicate with the other side. We do not tell Lisa about anything that we're doing beforehand. She shows up blind on an investigation.
We were going to follow on Lisa's instincts of her sensitivity.
I knew that she would be able to connect a little better as to what was there and maybe help us get rid of it.
Anyone down here in the basement that want to communicate this evening?
We use what's called an EMF detector. There's a theory out there when an energy is trying to manifest, it'll disrupt the electronic magnetic field.
If you can hear me, we got a spike.
I got a spike on the EMF detector and the hair on my right arm stood up.
Was it going up?
All of a sudden, a huge shadow person just goes right by Kenny and disappears into the wall. I was in shock.
I was going over the tapes, and when I seen that shadow pass behind me, it's unbelievable. To cast that shadow, something would have had to pass in front of the light or directly behind it. There's no way to get behind Kevin as he's filming me behind the drum set, because there's a wall.
I knew there was something in the house, but to have actual evidence, it was just disturbing.
Anybody present in this room with me at this time?
The energy level in Seth's bedroom was extremely strong.
I have a device in my hand, a torch, a light. You can approach me, you can touch me, you can grab me.
All of a sudden, Daisy just keeps barking.
As I'm looking at Seth, who is across the room from me, all of a sudden this ball of light goes up and over his back. Did you see that light? I just saw this with my eyes. Did anybody else see this?
This thing actually develops behind Seth.
We tried to find a natural earthly explanation for that orb. We knew it was not some kind of camera flare because Lisa saw it with her own eyes.
Did you see that light?
Once you eliminate all the earthly natural explanations for an orb, the theory is that the spirit is trying to manifest itself.
Lisa and I were holding an EVP session, trying to bring whatever was in that house out. If there's anyone here with us, all we want to do is communicate with you.
I picked up on a female spirit within the house.
What is your name? Tell me your name. And I could not believe what I heard.
It's a whispery type voice, says, Anna.
We might have actually found what is here, and now hearing the EVP, that's a huge relief. It's like, okay, this stuff is really happening. I'm not crazy.
After we picked up the Anna EVP, we wanted to find out who Anna was.
My name is Kevin. I am the case manager for Quest Paranormal Society. We found records that show a woman named Anna and her husband had purchased the home in December of 1972. Anna passed away in the home in June of 1989. I believe it's possible that if we start to connect the dots, we've got some real strong corroborating evidence.
Finding out about the Anna that passed away there, now the odds of capturing that EVP, saying that name, it freaked me out that it could be this woman, Anna, trying to communicate with me.
When I look at Seth and what he experienced, I truly believe that Anna was not meaning to frighten him. Anna had no intention of causing harm.
It kind of made me feel like there was nothing bad, there's nothing to be worried about.
I think Seth felt a lot better because now he had a group of people who were able to validate his claims and everything felt okay.
We were hopeful that we wouldn't have to worry any longer about activity being in the house.